The first time I saw Daisy was in the summertime. She wore an old-fashioned summer dress with frills and bright colors. An oversized hat shrouded her face in partial shadow, but the brightness of her smile shone through. She was young and vibrant and had an energy that even she could barely contain. I drank her in, and I was drunk. The luminescence of her nearly outshone the bright July sun. Her voice was friendly, and when she spoke she gave you the impression that she was a friend from a long time ago, that you had almost forgotten. Even after all this time, I am amazed at how vividly the images remain burned in my memory. It's almost as if they were written on my nerves, and when I access the memory, I tingle a little. That's just a little piece of my unpublished short story.
Oh my god, is he nuts?
But that's not why you're here. This is The Solo Show, and this is our monthly review. And this little bit of lunacy is brought to you as always by Victor Naraki Realtor, serving Disney and the greater Orlando area with celebratingflorida.com and disneyatyourdoorstep.com. The future is bright indeed. We're all of us dreaming of the better days ahead, and a part of your bright new future could be a move to where the magic lives in the greater Orlando area of Florida. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. Victor Naraki is the realtor who can help you make the move you've always wanted to. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to move near Disney World, Victor is in your corner. If you are looking for an experienced real estate agent covering all of Central Florida, please visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com today and find out just why you should work with Victor. I encourage you to create a free, no-obligation account on his website. By doing so, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com today or visit his Facebook page, Victor Naraki Realtor. And don't forget to tell him The Solo Show sent you.
Hi, I'm C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations, and you are listening to The Solo Show.
The Solo Show podcast is proud to present the Disney news of the past month. This week we are showcasing all the headlines for the month of February. Now, here are your Disney reporters with the news of February.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Solo Show. I am Stan Solo as always, and we're doing our monthly roundup. Yes, that's what they're called, roundup. And joining me today from the Grand Circle Tour the Grand Circle Tour contest? No, the Grand Circle Tour podcast. Justin Clark. Justin, welcome to The Solo Show. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Stan. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am amazing other than being in pain. Other than that, I'm fine.
You have an amazing amount of pain. Got it.
I'm in an amazing amount of pain. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this has been a rough couple of weeks. See, you've been on the show several times for our regular listeners. They know you already.
Yeah, I've been on. I've done a couple of trip reports and different things on your show. Yeah.
We did you went to Hawaii. We did a trip report for that.
Yeah.
So we're doing the news roundup. Is that what I can't remember? What am I calling this? It's not the weekly roundup. The monthly roundup.
It's your show, so
I know.
if one of us is going to know the answer to that question, it should be you.
Well, I haven't recorded one in over a month, so I forgot. It's the monthly roundup for the month of February.
Yeah.
So why don't you start off with the first one that we have?
So the first item on our docket today is that Walt Disney World started a new cavalcade called Disney Adventures Cavalcade.
Yeah.
So, or Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade. It looks like it's listed on their site.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Friends Cavalcade. It's a pretty cool one because it's a lot of characters you don't normally see. There's a lot of Pixar characters in this one. I think this one has more characters than any other cavalcade that they've done.
Yeah, the official list here, we've got Nick and Judy from Zootopia, Baloo and King Louie from Jungle Book, Jose and Panchito from Three Caballeros, Miguel from Coco, Merida from Brave, Moana, and the Incredibles. So, that's a lot.
That's a lot
right there
for cavalcade, yeah. So you can see Disney's getting bigger and better every day. February 12th, Splash Mountain is reopened after a month long of refurbishment. It was originally supposed to open February 11th, and they announced it's going to be delayed. And then they ended up opening it February 11th, but it was like 5:00 in the evening or something like that, like 2 hours before closing that they reopened it. So we're saying it was a 12.
So yeah, so that was just kind of like a, your normal refurb. As I understood it, it was just touching up the paint and that kind of thing.
Yeah, flushing out the water, probably putting fresh water in there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was
let's
next?
see. So we got private photo pass session. Capture your moment. Expands to other parks. $79 and up to 8 guests.
Yeah, so I guess they used to do it at Magic Kingdom only. Now they're doing it to all the parks, and you can hire a photo pass photographer, and I think it's an hour that you get them for.
Okay.
And it's $79, and he'll be your personal photo pass photographer. You tell him what pictures you want, and he'll take them. If this is great, like if you're doing something special, like it's a wedding or something, or sorry, not a wedding, but you're proposing.
Yeah, that or even if like you're there on a family trip and where you want everyone in the picture, because otherwise there's always someone has to be taking that picture. So that's a good way. So yeah, if it's like a special occasion of some sort, I can see that. Yeah.
Plus you get kind of unique pictures too, because it's not the same thing with the castle in the background with this in the background. You know what I mean? You kind of you can kind of choose different angles, I believe, with that.
That sounds fun.
So down at Disney Springs, 2 sisters from New Jersey got into a drunken fight.
Oh,
this is the low part of the month, I think.
And that made several different podcasts and shows. And I was like, you were saying, what was it? This hour has 22 minutes in Canada. Even mentioned
on
it.
CBC. Yeah, they mentioned it on there, and of course the joke that they did was, "No pictures. It didn't happen. We want to see the pictures."
But yeah, apparently they were trying to get an Uber back to their hotel, and the Uber driver didn't want to take them because they were too drunk. And then they got into a screaming match, and one of them took off her dress for reasons no one can quite explain, but may have something to do with the fact that she slipped on some vomit. And
she slipped on her sister's vomit, and they both of them were fighting in a bush or something, and security came twice or something like this. Like,
what a mess. But yeah.
Only New Jerseyans, I guess, eh? I'm just kidding. Relax.
This is not the way you normally go to do Disney. All right.
Yeah. What else happened?
Let's see. Next up here, Disney did announce record-breaking revenue for Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and Disney Plus, beating expectations. So for everyone who's complaining about all the extra money they're spending, Disney appreciates it.
Yeah, and I guess they were saying that Lightning Lane was a big part of this too, because they're getting quite the revenue from Lightning Lane, is what that article went on to say.
I believe that, but I don't know. I don't know how sustainable that is. I think long term. I mean, and I think I said this on the live show even, that I paid when I was at Disneyland, I paid the $20 each to go on Rise of the Resistance. So that's like $40 for the two of us the one day. I paid it, but I kind of resented that I had to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like you're losing a little bit of goodwill every time you have to do that, especially that Lightning Lane when you're right there in the park and you have to be laying out cash just to go stand in line.
Yeah. It's kind of a sad state. And like Bob came out and he said that the reason why we're raising the prices is because the demand is there. He says people are complaining that there's too many people, so that's a way to get less people, I guess. But it's also a way to infuriate a lot of people too. It's a tough call, It's not an easy job.
It's one of those things where there's probably not any good answers, really.
Build another gate. Maybe that would help spread them out a bit more. So over at Disneyland, they introduced a private party with Mickey Mouse in Mickey Mouse's house.
And if you listen to Grand Circle Tour podcast, or at least our live shows, Holly did that, and she talked about it on one of our recent live shows.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I think it's meant for like a kid's thing to do, but Holly did it with a bunch of adults, and she had just as much fun as she would if she brought her kids. Probably even more. But they did stuff like that, where they decorating cookies and coloring and
and like some cupcakes and
cupcake make
So it looks like a lot of fun. It takes place in Mickey's house, since it's kind of down for the refurbishment of Toontown and such. So that's a way of kind of using that while all that construction is going on. So that's a good idea.
And then Mickey comes and you get to do some social distancing photos with him.
Now, it might not be quite so bad. I don't think it's on your list here, but while I was there at Disneyland, they did drop the requirement for wearing masks indoors.
Yeah.
Now, theoretically, it was supposed to be that if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. If you are unvaccinated, you're still supposed to wear a mask, but they don't really have any way of checking. So most people just weren't wearing masks anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So what came back last month?
So let's see. We have on the 14th, the Figment popcorn bucket became available again, this time using mobile ordering. Oh, and we saw some pictures of that huge pile of them all waiting for people to come pick them up.
But that's a much better way to do it than having people stand in line for 6 hours. Like, come on, right?
Well, yeah, because otherwise it was at like one popcorn booth at
Yeah.
I mean, in the entire Epcot park, you have so many people there. And I don't know if they just didn't realize how popular this was going to be or what, but 6-hour lines is crazy for a popcorn bucket.
Yeah. And our friend Marla was there. Marla Chan was there during this time, and she did the mobile order, and I believe she found it quite easy. She just went in and mobile ordered. It told her what time to go. She went and picked it up.
Yeah. I love the mobile ordering, even for the food and everything. That's such a convenient way to do so much of this.
Yeah. So going back to Disneyland, the 1st, 3rd, 8th, 10th, and 14th, Disneyland held its first after hours event of the year, Sweetheart Nights, like a Valentine's Day party.
Now, Monica and I had looked at doing that when we were planning our trip. That was one of the first things we had looked at was the 14th to see to maybe go to that. And we kind of decided ultimately that there wasn't enough there to justify the price.
It was probably sold out anyways by that time anyway, because they sold out in like half an hour. They were all gone.
I'm sure it did. But so we didn't feel too bad about it that not going. But that's part of the reason we waited to start our trip on the 15th after that.
Yeah. It was kind of funny I saw the park maps. They had special park maps for the Sweetheart Night, and on the bottom they were advertising the other two nights that they're having, which is the Star Wars nights, and what's the other one? There's a third one, but they're advertising to join us for these nights as well. But they sold out on February 1st or whatever it was. So
that's the thing with those, though. These things sell out so quickly that you kind of have to know when those tickets are going on sale and be ready to be on your computer buying those tickets instantly, because they do sell out so quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see. Apparently there was some sort of football game. I don't keep up with this kind of thing called a Super Bowl. I don't know. But Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald had a Super Bowl victory parade at Disneyland this year. Yeah.
That's the old traditional. You just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do next? And they either say Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one they're paid to do.
and Disneyland, if I remember correctly, it was the first one that they did was Disneyland. Yeah. That was the original idea. Yeah. So then over the years, they started doing it more at Disney World.
Have you ever seen the blooper videos of those? It's not so much a blooper video, but it was one year, this one guy, he was the MVP for the Super Bowl. And he was trying to find a camera to yell, "I'm going to Disneyland at." And he couldn't quite find one. So he just kept yelling it over and over and over again and turning his head around and trying to find a camera. It's so funny. He says it like 8 times. trying to get the right one trying to get this. And then he's like, did I do it? Am I done now?
I have not seen that, but now I have to look it up. I have to check that out.
February 15th, Disney Cruise Line announces cruises for the Wonder out of San Diego.
Oh, okay.
So
on the other coast.
Yeah, because they're currently the Disney Wonder is in the Florida coast, and it's going to be doing a repositioning cruise. I think March 2nd or March 1st, one of those 2 days. I think it's March 2nd or March 4th, maybe. They're doing a repositioning cruise. Going to San Diego, and we're gonna actually have one of the people that are gonna be on that cruise. It's a 14 night cruise.
Oh, wow.
that repositioning cruise, because they're going down through the Panama Canal
Oh,
and
wow.
then back up.
I suppose they have to, yeah.
So coming up on the solo show, I'm going to have somebody that's on that cruise doing a trip report.
Nice.
So so that's going to be something to watch.
That's definitely something for your listeners to look forward to hear about a 14-day cruise. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the Disney Wonder, that's a nice ship too. Oh, well, they all are, but
Yeah. And with the Wish coming, I guess the Wonder is probably going to stay on the West Coast for now on, I'm guessing.
Where do they go on a San Diego cruise though? Where is that, like up to Alaska? It's not going to be up to Alaska then.
I think they can go to Alaska. I believe I'm not sure because
the Alaska cruises leave out of like Vancouver, I thought.
Yeah, traditionally, yeah. Maybe it's going to go to Hawaii, or maybe it's going to do a cruise to nowhere. I don't know. But I thought they had to go to a non-US port. Oh, Mexico, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
They could go to that side of Mexico. Yeah. Yeah, that'd work.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have? So, Spider-Man No Way Home. Perhaps you heard of it. And by these numbers, you probably went to the theater and watched it, because it has officially unseated James Cameron's 2009 movie Avatar to become the third highest grossing domestic box office release in history. That's quite an accomplishment.
That's insane. and considering a lot of theaters still have, limited capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So
many people went to that. I mean, well, I think partly it was like one of those lulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the global pandemic. So people were like, yeah, let's get out finally. And we've got this tentpole movie to go see. So everyone went to see it. And
I haven't seen it yet. At this point, I might as well wait for it and get it on Blu-ray or pay-per-view or something.
You've probably seen all the spoilers by now.
I've been pretty good at keeping away from them.
Let me tell you all about
Yeah. So on the 17th, so this is what you were talking about. Mask mandates was suspended for most of Walt Disney World, and I believe, was that the same day for Disneyland as well?
Let's see. Yeah, 17th would have been when Disneyland did it as well.
Yeah. So Disney World and Disneyland, they suspended most of their mask mandates.
Like I say, at Disneyland, you didn't have to wear the masks outside, but indoors you did. So the first 2 days, the 15th and 16th that we were there, we had to wear a mask indoors, in a queue, on a ride, whatever. Starting that Thursday, the 17th, you didn't.
Yeah. And I believe you still have to on transportation, though.
On transportation, yeah. I've at both places, yes.
Yeah.
So like if you're on the buses or what have you.
Yeah. So the same day, we had some great news. What was that?
Then, of course, Walt Disney World raises its prices for multi-day tickets.
Yeah.
Because
they're going to be selling less masks.
More money in his paycheck.
They bought all these masks they're never going to sell, so they had to make up for it somehow.
Because apparently Lightning Lane wasn't giving them quite enough of a revenue boost. They had to raise their ticket
this is an
prices
annual
as well.
increase that happens every year.
Yeah.
And I think it was only for 4 days or more the prices raise.
I think so too. I think it was like, but a lot of people, especially Disney World, are going to do that. They're usually going to do like 6-7 days.
Who goes for 3 days?
See, Disneyland, you can get away with like 3-4 days, but Disney World, you almost need 7 days to see everything. There's just so much to do there.
Also in February, Tron Light Cycle Run vehicles were spotted being delivered to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, there was there were some pictures online of them all wrapped up on the back of a trailer truck and heading to Disney World. So they're slowly inching their way closer to getting that up and running. I think they also put up the canopy this month. They were starting to work on that.
Yeah, it's coming along. They're probably going to do another 2 years of testing, make sure that it's safe.
It's a fun ride, though. I mean, because I did that in Shanghai. It was a lot of fun, and it's 12-year-old me has been waiting for this ride for for many years.
That's one I would like to try, but I can't. I know I can't. like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I tried it and I was fine on it, but I really don't enjoy it. But I think I would enjoy Lightning or the Tron cycles, but I can't do it. Yeah,
it's pretty fast. You're definitely, you're doing a lot of banking and such.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like anything that goes fast or drops or spins or goes upside down.
So we're not going to take you to Six Flags anytime soon.
Oh, I went to Universal. I did one thing, and I was getting a picture with Bart.
Well, we're actually, Monica and I were looking at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, and they have a bunch of roller coasters and such. And Monica said about the same thing. She's like, yeah, there's maybe one ride that I'd go on.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have? The 2022 Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. Topiaries and the booths began to appear.
Yeah. Getting closer to that, too. So that's going to be starting, I think, March 1st or March 2nd. I have it coming up on the...
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they get the topiaries there early. I remember going... Yeah, it was around this time, late February, and the topiaries were... Or late January. Late January I've been. And some of the topiaries were already up. So this seems almost kind of late.
Yeah, but they do. I know they do kind of start putting those out a little ahead of time because there's so many of them. I think they're just they're big and bulky to move, so they can't do them all over the course of one night like they do some of their decorating.
Yeah. Mobile Cast Complement was added to the My Disney Experience app, located at the bottom of the 50th anniversary section of the app. I think this is a great idea. I
love this idea. I mean, because how many times have you had like a great cast member interaction and you think, oh, well, I want to like give them this compliment or whatever, but then you have to go to like someplace else and you forget about it by the end of the day or
do an email or yeah.
Yeah,
like I know I've had really good customer service from a cast member, and I wanted to send an email. I wanted to make sure I remember their name. So I said, you were awesome. Can I take a picture of your name badge just so I could remember here? So she said, yeah, sure. So I took a picture of her name badge up close. I never got around to sending the email. But if it was on the app and really quick, I would have done it right away.
Well, that just is. Like that way, you can do it right there in that moment. And I think that'll help get more of those compliments to these cast members, because when they go above and beyond, when they make your day magical, it's really important to let them know that. And it helps, I think, with their, job performance scores and such as well, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I love that idea. So what next? So we have speakers are being installed at the Fab 50 statues. What is that about?
So when they first announced these Fab 50 statues, the golden statues that are all over the place at Disney World, they originally said that they were going to be interactive statues. When they announced them that they were coming, they were going to be interactive. I
remember that, and I don't remember them saying what sort of interaction there was going to be.
No. So the statues are there now, and they've been there since October, and they're not interactive.
They're just golden statues.
Starting to see speakers appear on some of the statues. People are noticing and are taking pictures of speakers and posting them. So I think eventually, at least before next October, there will be. And I don't know if it's going to be on the app, or if it's going to be with your Magic Band, or how it's going to work. But or motion.
I think they're moving everything to the mobile phones anymore. But
yeah, sounds like it's going to be with
the
phone.
Really trying to get away from those Magic Bands and just replace it with the phone technology.
Or it could just be motion active when you walk past them.
That could be, or touch them or wave your hand in front of them or something
But so there's something coming with those. Okay, hang tight, people.
Something.
Yeah. The citrus swirl is now gone for now.
That's very popular for a lot of people.
And so cast members are saying it's going to be discontinued for 2 years. A cast member was quoted as saying, I don't know. That seems horrible.
Why would you take that away? I mean, especially for a specific amount of time like that, unless you have something else you're going to replace it with in that time.
Well, they are bringing out all these different flavors of whips all the time, like a cherry vanilla and stuff like that. So maybe they only have so many machines in that booth, and that's why who knows? But I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about this at all. I did
notice that at Tropical Hideaway at Disneyland that they had some of the different flavors there.
Yeah,
didn't try them because I just want my regular old Dole Whip. But
well, I'll try them. I'll try anything. So, and that's the thing. Like I'm kind of not happy about this, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I'll try something different.
Yeah, maybe you'll like the new thing even better.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll be like, no, bring back my citrus swirl, dig nabbit.
Well, I don't understand why they can't have both.
Well, like you say, I think it is more about, just this real estate, how much space they have back there for these machines and such. Because those are some pretty sizable machines, I think.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for the volume that they have to go through every day.
Yeah.
So what's next here? Anna and Elsa came back at Royal Summer House for meet and greets.
Yeah.
So that's big thing. That's big news.
So, well, yeah, because they were doing only outside social distance photos. So now
Right.
they're doing inside social distance photos. So we're slowly getting back to the normality.
Yeah, I love the meet and greets. I miss the meet and greets the way they used to be, where you could get up right up next to the characters and such. I mean, you can get such better photos and such that way, I feel. But at least this way, one thing I do like about the distance ones is that the characters seem like they're kind of posing for everyone a lot more.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you kind of get better pictures from a distance than you used to be able to.
Yeah. But I think it's easier now to take pictures of just a character. Like you don't have to wait in line. So you just want a picture of Mickey Mouse. You can kind of go off to the side and get a picture of Mickey Mouse without the kid being in the shot. Some stranger's kid. Whereas before they would get the kids in and out so quickly, you never had a chance to get a good picture of just Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Type of thing.
So that is nice.
Yeah. Expedition Everest was scheduled to be finished its refurbishments in early April. It's now been extended to April 30th.
So I wonder if that means they found some problems that they're going to take longer to fix.
They discovered that the Yeti's not working.
What? The Yeti isn't working? How long has that been going on?
I thought it was working. We put a light in there that flashed. So you're probably right. They probably found more.
They probably found something more major that's going to take a little longer to fix. That would be my guess.
There was more headbands to clean than they thought there ever could be.
Found them in the tracks or everywhere.
Air elastics.
Oh, let's see. So we had the Disney Wish was brought into the water for the first time as it gets ready for its first official cruise in July. Now that was delayed, as I recall.
Yeah, I don't think it was delayed more than a month though, because I think it was originally early July. Now it's going to be later July.
Well, I was thinking it was like June was when it was going to be, and now it's pushed back to July. But
okay.
But yeah, it was probably more like end of June, and now it's into July. But
yeah, I'm not sure how many cruises got affected from that, but it was cool to see it done though.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to going on that, and I hope you're going to be able to join us on that cruise.
I hope I can. Man, oh man, this is supposed to be my year of vacations, and everything's getting shot down.
You're finally getting let out of the country, and now you're not getting let out of your store. It's not fair.
Exactly. Jico reopened the Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, making it the last signature restaurant to reopen.
So we're getting all of these restaurants back up and running. I love seeing that. That is fantastic. I love that we're getting some of the entertainment back as well. That's been slowly rolling out over the last couple of months.
Yeah, we're getting back to normal. It's clear skies ahead. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely, blue skies.
Blue skies. There we are.
Blue skies ahead. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So the 24th. So that was just a couple of days ago. Some of the Disney influencers were invited to for a preview visit to the Star Wars Hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser. Now I understand you've been watching some of these videos that they took.
I think my invitation got lost in the mail or something because I haven't received it yet. But
it takes a while for those invitations to get up to Canada. There, Stan.
Yeah. Like the truckers were striking and stuff down in Ottawa.
I'm sure the same thing happened to me. I didn't get mine either.
Oh, you didn't get yours?
It's but it's the mail here in North Dakota. That's the problem. I'm sure
the Pony Express, as you would say. A lot of people were kind of ticked about this in the social medias that these people get to go in there for free. I say good on them. Like if you're advertising for Disney 365 days a year practically by putting out content and promoting Disney, and Disney gives you a free whatever, good for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it's not like this is a new thing. I mean, we've seen plenty of these influencers. I mean, you and I follow like Lou Mangello, and he's done a lot of these different things as new restaurants come up, as new cruises come up. There's all sorts of things that they've taken these influencers out and given them a free ride or whatever, so they can market it to their fan base. And that's a great way of doing the marketing. And this in particular, needed that.
Yes, yeah, it did. I wasn't sold on the Star Wars hotel at all. I was kind of like this after watching a whole day of influencers in quotation marks videos. I really want to do this thing now. I feel like I already did it though because I've watched so many videos on it already.
Well, that's just it. The official Disney marketing hasn't really been selling it very well. So this is a way to turn that around finally. So I'm glad to see that they're doing it. I haven't watched any of the videos yet. I've been undecided whether I'm going to, because maybe I do want to go on this now, and I don't know if I want to spoil it for myself.
Now that was the thing. Like I haven't watched any of the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railroad. No, I did watch those, but the Ratatouille ride, I haven't watched any of the Ratatouille videos, and I didn't watch any of the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. I didn't watch any of those before I went because I wanted to be not surprised. I wanted to, take it in myself for the first time. This is a little bit different because, like, for me to go, I'm going to be spending, if I go with 2 people, over $2,000, let's say. If I'm going with a couple of friends, it's
crazy expensive to do this.
So I kind of want to know where I need to be, when I need to be, where I should stand to get the best experience. So that's why I was thinking I should watch these videos so I know what to. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I like to do my research. For just about everything. So yeah, I mean that because it is so interactive, because you have to kind of seek out your own experiences to some extent, as I understand it. Yeah, you kind of need to know where are these things going to be happening so you can go find them. So that research is going to be important.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be there and to be surprised and discover things on your own. But at the same time, if you don't discover these things on your own and then you watch the videos after, oh, I could have done that. Oh, I could have been there at that time and done that. Like,
exactly. So yeah, so that's the kind of back and forth I've been doing with it. So I haven't actually watched them yet, but I might.
Yeah.
For that reason.
So the 25th, Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railroad, Frozen Ever After, and Space Mountain will no longer be Lightning Lane options, but will be part of Disney Genie Plus.
I was kind of surprised. I was reading this list, and I was kind of surprised that those weren't on Genie Plus. So those were on the pay extra to stand.
They were on the Lightning Lane. Yeah, they were on Lightning Lane before. So they're no longer going to be on Lightning Lane. They're going to be on part of Genie Plus. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't have paid extra for any of these. So maybe they were poor sellers. That's why they took them off of Lightning Lane.
I don't know. I mean, they are things that, those lines can get pretty long. It's something I would always use, like either Fast Pass or Space Mountain in particular is one that I would that's a rope drop one for me.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do that one usually.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing they weren't performing very well with Lightning Lane. And the other thing too is it could be that maybe they only want so many at a time. So like Tron's coming up, Guardians of the Galaxy is coming up. So they're going to be adding those to Lightning Lane.
Yeah, I don't think you want too many because again, like I said, I paid for those a couple of times, and every time I did it, I felt that little bit of resentment while I was there in the park.
Yeah.
It's one thing to go, oh, well, I'm spending all this extra money ahead of time, to buy my tickets and such for the Genie Plus. I can kind of like psychologically separate that, but right there in the park and having to pay extra, it was just kind of like, a little irksome. So I'm glad to see more of those go away.
But you wouldn't pay extra for Frozen Ever After.
I don't think I would.
No, there's no way I would.
Yeah, and Space Mountain, I mean, at Disneyland, it was on Genie Plus, and that just kind of made sense to me to have that as part of the Fast Pass system.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right, one more here. We've got Hong Kong Disneyland's closure was extended until April 20th.
Yeah, they're not doing that great in Hong Kong right now with their COVID numbers. I was watching a show the other day, and apparently for the entire month of March, they're going to test every single person 3 times.
Oh, jeez.
Is what Hong Kong's planning on doing. They're going to test you, and if you're positive, you're going to go into quarantine immediately. And 2 weeks later or a week and a half later, they're testing you, every single person. They're testing again, and they do the same thing. You go into quarantine, and that's how they figure they're going to get rid of this.
And that's kind of strange to me that they're having such trouble, because that's one of those places that they've taken this very seriously from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the place where, I mean, people do not have a problem with wearing masks. They would normally do that on their own before we had a pandemic if they felt sick or whatever, or it's cold and flu season. So it's surprising to me that they're having such trouble.
Yeah. So and it was mainly because of the country or the city or whatever was limiting how many people could go into the parks, and it was such a tiny amount that Disney just said we're not even going to open.
Yeah,
and it was supposed to open in March or May.
At some point, they're probably spending more on cast members to run the thing than they were getting for ticket prices of people coming in.
Yeah. So coming soon, what do we have coming soon here? I'll start off on this one.
Okay.
New DVC villas at the Grand Floridian Resort are set to start construction March 1st.
Where are they going to put those? I'm just trying to think because I stayed at the Grand Floridian.
I believe they're not making new building. They're just converting old rooms into villas.
Into DVC. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they probably have to upgrade them, putting washer and dryers in them and stuff like that, I'm guessing.
And that'll definitely take some time.
Yeah.
So if I was just trying to think what logistically where they could put them otherwise. So that makes some sense to me.
Yeah, so expect construction for the next little while at the Grand Floridian if you're staying there.
Yeah, and when we were there, they had all that construction going on at the Polynesian.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we have coming soon, Disney Springs announces exclusive annual pass holder offerings.
Yeah, so I guess different shops at Disney Springs are going to have different things that only annual pass holders can get, like certain cupcakes or certain treats or churros or whatever. As well as there's going to be a magnet, and it's completely different. I saw a picture of the magnet. It's completely different than the traditional oval magnet that you usually give to annual pass holders. This one's like a D and has Mickey and Minnie kind of hanging out to this D. But yeah, so if you're an annual pass holder, go to Disney Springs and get some perks this month.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think at Disneyland, if I remember, there's been times where we've seen different bits of merchandise that is only for annual pass holders. I think Monica actually got a sweatshirt because she was like, yeah, I'm not an annual pass holder. I'm from North Dakota. And they kind of let her buy it anyway.
Yeah. Actually, I got one of my pepper shakers that way. It was for pass holders only. And I said, well, I collect them. I got them all. I only want one. I don't want like 100. I'm not, it's just for myself. I'm not going to resell it. And so they felt pity on me and they sold me the pepper shaker. The trash can pepper shaker. So
that's not exactly a new thing that they're doing, but it's fun to see. And I'm sure for the annual pass holders, every perk they can get anymore is something that they're.
But I think it's new for Disney Springs. I've never really heard of Disney Springs doing anything like this.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen it at Disney Springs before.
Yeah. So starting March 2nd and running till July 4th is the International Flower and Garden Festival. So
and like we were saying before, we were starting to see some of the topiaries come out for that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been to that festival in forever. It's been a long time since I've been between March and July.
Yeah, that's not normally a time when we go. I mean, we would usually go like between like November and February. It's kind of more of the times that we go.
Same here.
So coming up for DCA's Food and Wine Festival, they're bringing back Soaring Over California. Yeah. The old classic ride.
Which I was kind of surprised when I heard that because the last time I was at Disneyland, that's the one that was playing. It was Sailing Over California. So I thought it was still playing. I didn't know they switched back to Soaring Around the World.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where they do this every so often now, especially at California, and it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to have it there.
Yeah. I much prefer that one.
Make it as a permanent option or whatever. You know, Theater 1 is going to be Soaring Over California. Theater 2 is Soaring Around the World, and choose. Yeah. You know, that would be something they could do, but.
So Star Wars Galactic Cruiser is set to welcome its first guests in early March. So that's coming up right now. Like people are, like I said, the influencers were already staying there and visiting there, and now it's going to be for the general public.
Right. So they were having a preview. So I wonder if it was an abbreviated experience at all, or if it was kind of the full experience.
Well, it was weird because I was watching it, and so some of the influencers were there for 4 hours. And they didn't go to Batu. It was very compressed. And the cast members would say, what you're going to experience now is what's going to happen on day 2. And they would do stuff.
So it was kind of an abbreviated.
It was very abbreviated. But then there were some that were there for the 2 nights. So I'm not sure if these are the super influencers that or one night or whatever. If they got longer stay, or but they said they paid for them. A lot of them did. So I don't understand exactly what.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't clear on some of that, and I know like Lou Mangello, for example, said
he
that
went to the 4-hour one.
He was going to be there for the inaugural cruise.
Yeah.
So he was waiting till after that to really share all of his thoughts.
Yeah. That 4-hour one that they did, though, that was nuts. Like, people were running around like crazy trying to get everything done within 4 hours. And I'm actually going to have somebody on the solo show coming up that was there for that. Actually, he didn't come up before this show, but he was there for the 4-hour media event. You're next.
I am next. Okay, so Toontown is closing in March in Disneyland for their reimagining, and it's not going to reopen until 2023. So they're changing up a lot of things. They are leaving Roger Rabbit. They did confirm that Roger Rabbit is staying. Mickey's house, Minnie's house are staying. Some of the other things are being reimagined in certain ways. I don't know.
Well, they're bringing in the Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railroad. Is the big.
They are bringing that in.
And it's going to be like a El Capitan theater look to it.
Okay, yeah, I think I had seen that because they mentioned that on the signage that's already there in the park, because we did go to Toontown while we were at Disneyland.
Yeah, I'm just happy that they're keeping it and not putting something else there.
Yeah, I like the idea of Toontown, and it is a great place to have like Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and kind of have like this is where they live kind of thing. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad
to see their individual houses and such as you walk through and such. So I'm looking forward to what they do with this. I don't know if they're going to try to move it more into that newer animation style that the Runaway Railway is using.
Oh, please don't do that. Maybe you might be right. I never even thought of that. Yeah, you might be right.
It's certainly possible.
Way to spoil my day. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. We got an opening day, and it's going to open Memorial Day weekend. So sometime between Friday and Monday, Memorial Day weekend is going to open.
And wasn't that like one of the big wigs? I forget what his title was or whatever. Kind of tweeted out this picture and then had to take it down. And like, oh wait, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it's funny how they get their news out by accidentally tweeting. Do you think
so? We're not sure that they were officially supposed to let us know that, but we know that now.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder: was that done on purpose or was that actually accidental? You don't know.
You don't know, and he's high enough up in the company that he should know better. So you'd think it wouldn't really be an accident.
I thought I was sending a private message to my wife. I didn't realize I was tweeting to the whole world.
Yeah. But this is a guy that does know what is and is not allowed to be said and what kind of pictures can be shared. And so it seems unlikely that it was completely accidental.
Yeah. In any event, word's out there now.
But I know some people are definitely looking forward to this. It's another one of those rides you're probably not going to go on. I'm not going to go on. It's very much a roller coaster-y type thing. So. Yeah.
I think it goes backwards at times too. Even it doesn't. I think it launches backwards. I heard.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no interest in that. Zero interest in that.
But there are people who really like those thrill rides, and so they're there's
also people that really like Ellen DeGeneres's dinosaur ride. All righty, go ahead.
All right. So next up, we have Blizzard Beach refurbishment has also been extended. This one is extended through May.
Yeah. So that was supposed to open earlier. I guess it's opening later now. Yeah. Again, you kind of wonder, like, did they find something horribly wrong that needs to be repaired, or?
Yeah. Like maybe it's just kind of more damage from being sitting there unused for so long. I mean, some of that kind of thing can happen.
That's true. But yeah, so if you're planning a trip, you want to go to Blizzard Beach, wait till after May.
Yeah. Plan accordingly.
Yeah. So over at Tokyo Disney, this is kind of cool. They're going to start selling frozen Mickey-shaped frozen churros, and they can be shipped anywhere in Japan. So they're frozen churros that are Mickey-shaped.
So you get these and you have to like bake them yourself and then eat them? Is that the idea?
I think it's just thaw and eat.
Okay.
And from the pictures I saw, they look exactly like the ones in the park. They even have the exact same paper handle that you would get when you get a churro.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously I don't know what they taste like, but it's kind of cool that they can mail frozen stuff anywhere in Japan like that. And keep it frozen.
That is awesome. I mean, so you can get a little bit of Disney at home.
Yeah. And
in Japan.
And they broke down the prices, and it works out to like $1.50 a churro because you get like a box of 20 of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Mickey shape, for people that are wondering what's the Mickey shaped churro, it's long like a churro, but the end of it is Mickey shaped.
Oh, just the end of it. See, I thought maybe it's like the whole churro was just like,
no, it's a long churro like normal, but at the end is Mickey shaped.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you picture a pencil being Mickey shaped, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So like if you cut it Mickey shaped slices.
Yeah. So is there anything you're most looking forward to, Justin, while I have you here?
For all the stuff that's coming up? I mean, I would love to go to things like the Flower and Garden Festival because I always love being in the park. And I know those festivals are a lot of fun. I love the food and wine festivals as well. But, the Galactic Star Cruiser is probably the one thing that I would love to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to just because of the price.
Yeah.
And justifying that price, but it would be a lot of fun.
Wait for a coupon code to come out or something. I get a coupon.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Jurassic Park. Well, maybe we'll have a coupon day.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, same here. I really flip flopped on that Star Cruiser a couple of times because when I first heard about it, I thought this is going to be the best thing I ever saw. Then Disney put out a couple of videos that looked like it was for 10 and 12-year-olds, and I thought this sucks. And then I watched all these influencers' videos, and I'm like, man, I want to do this so bad now. So. I
might have to watch some of these videos just to see what you're seeing because so far all I've watched is like the official Disney marketing ones, and those are not doing a great job of
doing a good job
of making it look like something you want to spend that kind of money on.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I think everybody knows this already, that that lightsaber that they've showed it that goes up, it looks like an actual lightsaber. And I talked about that. I think it was on, I'm not sure if it was Grand Circle Tour Live, but I know I did on Disney Night Live, and I think I did on Grand Circle Tour Live. What I figure it is it's like a tape measure.
You had talked about that on Grand Circle Tour. I remember this.
Yeah. So my picturing of it is that it goes up and it stays, you push a button and it unveils like a tape measure. But the problem is with a tape measure is if you turn it sideways too much, it folds on itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that's what this thing is. So in the video, the person that uses it turns it on and it goes up like it's supposed to, and they immediately put it down and swap it out with one of the plastic ones. So I mean, we knew that. I don't think that's a spoiler, but we knew that this lightsaber was coming. We knew that it was going to be and it's not for people to use. It's us on stage only.
Just a stage prop, I think.
We
had kind of suspected that before.
They need to find a better way to do that switch off. Where you switch off the tape measure lightsaber to the plastic blade lightsaber without it looking so obvious.
Here's a free tip. Talk to magicians. They know how to do things like this.
Yeah, they need to get a magician in there telling them how to do the switcheroo because it looks so bad. Like I showed it to my daughter and she laughed so hard at the exchange.
Oh, seriously, magicians know how to swap out props like that. That's their whole thing. So
yeah. I'm not sure what they could do different. If maybe he uses a force push and pushes her through a door, and then she could swap it out with somebody there or something.
Yeah, like do something like that, or even just some distraction. So something to draw the audience's attention away from it long enough for them to swap it.
That's the hard part because everybody's watching this lightsaber go and everyone cheers when the light. It's amazing when it happens. Like they turn it on and it goes up and everybody in the whole room goes, oh, and they start clapping. And then she puts it down and picks up another one. It's lit for all of 2 seconds. Or maybe 3. Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of how they showed them too. When like Iger or whatever had one out. Yeah. It was like he'd light it up and then it's like immediately hand it off to someone.
yeah. And then they took it off stage immediately. Jason described it best how he was holding it, like he was holding a cup of water that was overfilled.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want to spill anything. That's what it was exactly. Well, thanks for coming on, Justin.
Well, you're welcome. Glad I could join in this time.
Yeah. And I don't think I called you Jason once this entire show, so kudos to me.
You're finally learning my name. We're so proud.
Exactly. We've only been friends for what, 6 years, 7 years?
A long time.
Alrighty. Ken, take us away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us your idea for the show, and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. All logos, sounds, and songs that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned solely by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of The Solo Show podcast. We hope you'll join us for the next adventure on The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.